Cougar foul, number 10, Sydney Freeman, her third, team sixth. Oakhill foul, 33, Adriana Trexler, her second, team fifth. Rebound bucket.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I am not sure we have had better weather for the soccer state championships here on the campus of IUP-UI. Nothing but sunshine this afternoon. Temperatures eventually will get into the 60s. A little bit cooler here as it's 11 o'clock local time. Brebeuf Jesuit trying to make it back-to-back boys 2A state championships against a program that has been here before and won back-to-back crowns in 2015 and 16 in Mishawaka, Marian. My name is Greg Rakestraw, joined by Mark Newman. We are thrilled you're joining us on the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. And Mark, let's start with the defending and returning champions. There are few soccer minds in this state that are as well respected as Carlos Zavaleta. He has now been the head coach at Brebeuf for the last 10-plus years, and not surprisingly, they have built a soccer powerhouse on the boys' side that is starting to rival their soccer powerhouse on the girls' side in Northwest Indiana.
Yeah, he brings a ton of experience. He just brings a cultural love for this game that really has. It's enveloped this program, and we've seen over the years they've just gotten better and better and better. I expect them to come out of this with their heads in a really good spot coming into this game and being very excited to repeat potentially as a 2A state champion.
Yeah, this is a Brebeuf team that has 13 juniors that are playing. So a lot of those kids played last year. Sophomores graduated, just 2 or 3 players off of last year's team and some key pieces. But frankly, this is not a surprise that they are back at this level. On the flip side now, we can talk about the girls and boys' prowess at Brebeuf. You would say the same thing about Mishawaka Marian. Their girls almost got the 2A final to kicks last year, beaten 1-0 in added time against the always powerful Evans Memorial squad, who won the 2A girls championship last night. Again, Ben Hausholter has brought his team here in 2008, 2015, and 2016. In 15 and 16, they were the 1A champions. And because of the schedule they play in and around the South Bend area, you know the Knights are going to be a battle-tested team.
Yeah, and Ben Hausholter, he is a household name in Mishawaka. I mean, he has been a guy who has led this program for many, many years, and you pointed to their success. We didn't really talk much about the special players on the Brebeuf side. We'll get to that. But there is some unique talent that the Marian team brings. Jackson Hunt, great goal scorer, selfless player, great assist maker. Victor Aguilar. It is not an understatement to say that he is a freshman sensation. He is going to be a contributor to this program for years to come.
Well, you mentioned Jackson Hunt again, 28 goals, 16 assists. He is one of 2 double-digit scorers on this Mishawaka Marian squad. Eli Moody is the other one with 10. Again, they are prolific in terms of finding the back of the net. In 21 matches played, 86 goals scored, so an average of over 4 goals per contest. Brebeuf is not far off of that. This is Brebeuf's 22nd match of the year. They have scored 74 goals on the season. They're scoring a little more spread out. They have 4 different goal scorers that are in the double digits. They are led by Stephen Bose, who is likely their best college prospect of this group, with 21 goals. I know somebody that jumps off the page at you is Quinn Warren.
Yeah.
He will play both up top and at the back. He has typical size you associate with what you'd hope from a professional defender. He's 6'6". He's also the kicker on the football team for Brebeuf, who beat Mooresville last night to keep their football season going.
Yep.
Again, Warren's a guy I know you got your eye on.
Yeah, I mean, it's uncommon size at any level, and he will be a target on free kicks and corner kicks. They'll be looking for his head, but he has this incredible weapon in that he can throw a ball into the play from the sideline about 3/4 of the way across the field. I mean, an incredibly powerful throw, and that's just a weapon that is very difficult to defend.
And let's face it, with the unique nature of this facility at IUPUI, because of the track lanes, you frankly can get more of a run-up, and so file that away on restarts, etc., as the game goes along.
Yep.
We're about to introduce the starting lineups to you for today's game. Starters for Brebeuf: Teddy Potts, Jack Weeder, Jake Rosenberg, Stephen Bose, Josh Pang, Alex Kerberger, Ben Hainline, Finn Christ, Mateo Soria, and Quinn Warren. The goalkeeper is Aiden Wade for Carlos Zavaleta's squad. Let's talk about this. Again, Mishawaka Marian is a program, again, been there, done that, but for these kids, this is their first trip downstate. For so many of these young men on your screen right now, Mark, they heard their names here last year. They played in this game a year ago. The experience factor, how much of an edge is that for Carlos Zavaleta's team?
Well, I think it's big. I mean, these are guys that they play together, all season long to get to this point. Many of them play with one another in the summertime, but you want to be able to step on the pitch and you want to be able to walk on there and be comfortable right off the bat. You don't want to be standing back, being tentative. You want to come out fast, and I hope we see both teams going at each other from the whistle fast and hard, because that'll make for a very open game and maybe some exciting football.
Now on the flip side, the starting lineup for the Knights of Mishawaka Marian. Noah Balliat is the goalkeeper for Mishawaka Marian. Jackson Hunt, J.J. Oliver, Reed Gillis, Harley Pankevich, Victor Aguilar, Benjamin Walczak, Emmanuel Reynolds, Zachary Fuel, Marco Aguilar, and Eli Moody. They are the starters for the Knights of Mishawaka Marian. Quick thoughts on the Knights before this match kicks off.
Well, we talked a little bit about already the incredible capabilities they have in Jackson Hunt and Victor Aguilar. I mean, the list goes on. They've been a goal-scoring machine throughout the year, really dominating the northern part of the state. They deserve to be here. They're a highly technical team. Their semifinal match with Canterbury of Fort Wayne was really an impressive game to watch. It was end-to-end, great possession. So let's see some of that here today.
We can tell you the quality of these two teams by whom they beat to get here. Evans Memorial and Fort Wayne Canterbury. Again, it gives you an idea as to how talented this group are. We'll take this quick timeout. When we come back, we'll kick things off. This 2A state championship game, Brebeuf and Mishawaka Marian, and you're watching on the IHSAA Champions Network.
You're good at making big announcements. We're good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
There are fans, and then there are fans. The diehards. They're those that don't just have a seat at a game, but a home away from home. The ones who made home field advantage a real thing. Who believe the horseshoe isn't just a logo, but a way of life.
Inspired by touch, by play, by listening and laughter. Inspired by family gatherings and one-on-one conversations. Inspired by long walks, long lives, and lives simply lived well. Inspired by compassion, by healing, by grace and strength. What inspires us at Franciscan Health is you. Franciscan Health, inspiring health.
My life has changed tenfold. I mean, from what I was doing prior to sheet metal, I can't even express how great it's become.
Future's bright in this industry because it's not going away.
With the union trades, I am earning an associate's degree without any college debt whatsoever.
Right now is one of the greatest times to start this process. With our benefits packages and our retirement packages, we're very tough to beat.
So moments away from this 2A state championship match kicking off on the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. We referenced two of the teams involved. Let's get to our third crew, if you will, that being the officials for today's game. Eric Deeg, Greg Gott, and Mark Crissell will be the three officials. Of course, we have a fourth official for today's contest as well, but those are the gentlemen that have the honor of working this 2A state championship game. Again, we are broadcasting from the campus of IUPUI, once again the home of these soccer state championships. This facility, once again, the home of the Indy 11. Indy 11 wrapped up their 9th season of professional soccer in the USL Championship a couple of weeks ago. The Indy 11 have called this facility home for 6 of those 9 years. The soccer state finals first played here in 2012. And good to have them back here for a second consecutive year. Again, this is an east-west pitch alignment for the evening game. That could be a factor in terms of a goalkeeper looking into the sun. That is not a problem at this time of the day. And there is barely any bit of wind right now. Conditions could not be more perfect. Yes, we are playing artificial turf. It is brand new artificial turf. The Indy 11, in fact, did not play a home match the entire month of June. So this surface has been here since about July 1st. You'll get as true of a hop as you possibly could by what we have today. First possession will belong to the Brebeuf Jesuit Braves. We play 40-minute halves. Clock is running down, and we are underway here in downtown Indianapolis. Good high press and an early turnover forced by Mishawaka Marian. Flag against waved by the assistant referee. This will come back for a free kick, and we'll have a set-piece opportunity for the Knights less than 30 seconds in.
And in a great spot, too, here. I mean, being about 25 yards or so to the left of the goalkeeper here. He's got to be on his mark here, setting up a wall and making sure that his guys in the box are positioned well. It looks like the way that Marian is setting things up here that they're going to go back post with this ball.
Eli Moody, Marco Aguilar standing over top of this one. Zachary Fuel was there for a moment. He has now drifted towards the top of the 18. It is Aguilar that sends it in. Keeper was off his line, could never officially get to it. Asked for a handball, did not get it. But now at least swept further out of danger by Brebeuf Jesuit. It was Josh Pang that got kind of the decisive touch to it to finally clear the 18 for the Braves.
And true to form, both these teams coming out playing very fast, very intensely, looking pretty good. Feet are good, possession is good, heads are up, making nice connections with the ball. The thing we want to see as this game progresses is them to continue to stretch the ball to touch lines. It's a little central, it's a little bit right side leaning, but they've got to start stretching it from touch line to touch line.
Good job to get that to the bylot, and then the header bended around, but you could see the technical skill of Jackson Hunt just on the first touch. The fact he's able to get his head behind that ball and lift it towards goal.
They're going to be targeting him all day long. I mean, what Coach Householder has talked about is that he likes to get the ball out to his flanks. His outside midfielders are in a track meet up and down the field, but they're targeting Jackson as much as they can.
Clean tackle there made by Marian at midfield. Fuel holding things up in the midfield to Marco Aguilar.
Good job, switch of play. Very nice display of technical ability there, that 1-2 play.
A little bit of contact there, but not enough in it. And we play on, and now some space to operate for Brebeuf. Right idea to switch the side of the attack. Nodded forward by a member of the Braves and Ben Hainline.
Good job. Good job of getting that ball out wide.
At the edge of the 18. Ball bounces to Hainline. Left-footed shot just lifts up and over the bar, but already Brebeuf impressive in their ability to switch sides of the attack quickly.
Yeah, and in that switch, really important here, he held the ball for a split second too long. Early balls into the box to the top of the 18 are going to be crucial here because you're allowing Mishawaka Marian to get behind the ball and get into their spots. You don't want to do that.
Off the chest of Alex Kerberger of the Braves. Throw-in coming here from Mishawaka Marian. Quickly, the Braves with the takeaway.
Yeah, Indianapolis Brebeuf really doing a good job of putting bodies on Marian and knocking balls away, giving them a knock so that they can't get complete and comfortable possession.
At the edge of the 18, looking back post. This will stay in the field of play. And eventually won back by Brebeuf Jesuit. Couldn't split two defenders, though. Action frenetic here in the early going. And with that, now you've got a potential 2v3 opportunity here for Mishawaka Marian.
Got to get numbers,
Well-weighted ball. That's Jackson Hunt.
Well done. So Hunt, I mean, it's understandable. They want to get the ball to their primary front runner. He's got great speed. He's able to bring the ball down comfortably and in his stride. Does a nice job here. But you got to get players coming in behind, picking up the pieces for balls that are either errant, just to the side like that, or deflection out by the goalkeeper, so you're picking up the pieces, getting that early goal.
Both teams playing direct here so far.
and doing a nice job in the back, not panicking with these balls that are coming through. They're finding feet, trying to get a comfortable build-up once they earn possession.
Well, what I notice is that there is space to be had on the flanks for both of these teams so far.
Yeah, and given space, you will see some really nice technical things done. When these teams are both placed under pressure, some of their technique, their heads stay down, their technique goes away, but given that little extra inch of room, you can really see some attractive football.
A rather unnecessary foul taken there by Mishawaka Marian, the defender. I think it was Reynolds, simply had kind of his arms around the Brebeuf player. And so now you have the set piece where you can get some numbers forward. And again, you have got a 6'6" target that has now made his way into the box in Quinn Warren.
Dangerous ball here.
Looking back post. Not cleared yet.
Oh boy.
Keeper never got to it. We have a player down for Brebeuf.
Got to get it away.
And now that it's swept to the side, now we can check on the injured player for the Braves.
Yeah, as a goalkeeper, if you're going to come off your line, particularly if you're competing with a 6'6" attacker here, you want to punch that ball away. You just want to get it out of the box, high and wide, as quickly as you can.
You got to get there. So an opportunity potentially missed by the Braves. Here's Pang. Good combination play in the midfield.
Good job by Brebeuf here, switching the point of attack. Beginning to open things out, using the flanks a little bit here.
This is Kerberger. Right idea, wrong touch. But one back by his teammates, and the Braves will reset. Now here's a ball that just a bit high for Stephen Bose. Again, Bose, the leading scorer at 21 goals for the Braves. Not surprising he was the target there at 6'2". And again, Warren listed as both a forward and a defender for Brebeuf Jesuit. Right now he is playing a center back and a back three sort of alignment for the Braves. There has not been a lot of time with the ball spin in the midfield so far in this match.
Here's Warren. I mean, he's got decent feet as a back, too. And when we see them transition, when he gets into the attack, keep an eye on Walzak for Marian. That's their 6'2" center back. That's the matchup with Warren that's going to be interesting here.
There's not been a lot of possession at the back, but when Brebeuf has had it there, Marian has picked up the high pressure. Brebeuf has generally handled it, with one notable exception in the first 30 seconds, with relative ease. But the midfield battles are already starting to tilt their way towards the Braves here in minute number 8.
Yeah, they're demonstrating great possession here. Their heads are up. They're scanning. They're not playing 2-3 touches. It's one touch, receive it, and then find the player, knock it off. They're anticipating where it needs to go. Guys are getting into good spots.
That was more of a hopeful ball for the Braves that didn't find a teammate, but Reed Gillis likes to play that ball off to the side. And the restart is a fast one for Brebeuf Jesuit.
It's a great example there of not being stationary with the ball when you receive it. You receive it, you're pushing it forward, you're moving into that sliver of space. Head is on a swivel, looking around, and you're finding your teammate to play it to.
That pass a little too heavily weighted, and again, we would say in years gone by that, you know, maybe again playing on this turf and this new turf where the ball is going to move was something that was a bit atypical, but these teams, seemingly everybody plays so much on turf at this point, I don't think the playing conditions are going to be a factor. The shot from distance that set Balliot scrambling, but that was never on target, and a goal kick coming from Mishawaka Marian.
Yeah, I mean, I think both teams are very comfortable playing on really large fields. So Brebeuf plays on a beautiful Bermuda grass field at their home stadium. Marian, they play on a really large grass field as well. They're probably less familiar with turf, but in talking to Coach Householder, to your point, they play on enough turf throughout the year that it's not going to be an issue for them. The thing that's standing out to me, you know, here we are just a few minutes into the game, really, and just how comfortable both of these teams have become. I mean, immediately falling into their game plans and showing very nice possession, very nice build-up, and getting some dangerous moments in front of the goal.
Jackson Hunt momentarily dispossessed Warren and had an opportunity. Fuel hustling to check back, and quickly ball swept, and Warren will use that 6'6", lanky stride. Good pressure again applied by Mishawaka Marian. Able to track down that ball. And that will be a throw-in coming next to the corner flag here for Mishawaka Marian.
A lot of space being created between Marian's front line and their midfield. That's going to need to be tightened up in order for them to threaten the goal and to be able to bring attacking opportunities in waves. If there's too much space there, they're going to lose that momentum.
Player down for Brebeuf, and then a foul given by Brebeuf. And for a second time in today's match, you'll have a restart in a rather nervy position from the Braves' perspective, this time from the far side of the field. Today's match on the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. You're good at being you. You've been you for years. Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance is good at your insurance. Find an agent to help you think about it at infb.com. Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance and stop knocking on wood. Restart,
nice
back post, goalkeeper snares it. That is Wade, and well done by Aiden Wade.
That's 6'5" goalkeeper right there. So you got a 6'6" back, you got a 6'5" goalkeeper. That is a big group just between the two of those guys in the back there.
And your height is?
6'5".
So I have a 6'5" goalkeeper on the broadcast with me today is the reason I make that point. He knows the advantage that you have with that height. And both these teams have provided some dangerous moments in the attack. If there is one area where the game is tilting towards one team, Brebeuf's winning most of the 50-50 balls in the midfield, and that will be a foul against Marian. And so now Brebeuf can kind of get organized for a set-piece look here.
Yeah, let's see what's going to happen here, because this is that opportunity for Warren to get into a dangerous spot. Are they going to target him, or are they going to look for another player to sort of dummy the ball to?
Braves will line up. 6 players at the edge of the 18. Rosenberg sends it in, and Alley out the punch, and then a teammate will sweep it to the side, and Aguilar. And a throw in coming.
Good job there by Balliot. Showed a little bit more decisiveness coming off of his line, getting that thing out of there.
Let me show you the replay. Pang has reset for Brebeuf Jesuit. And again, the defender for Mishawaka Marian, and Walczak will simply sweep that ball to the side. Here's Teddy Potts. And you reference the long throw ability of Mr. Warren. He has picked up the white courtesy phone. It is time to launch this one towards the 6. And again, look at the run-up he will take.
Is that a weapon or what? I mean, he's literally throwing it to the center of the box. It's a shame that he can't throw it, sprint to the spot, and knock it in with his head.
I think that would defy the law of physics, but yes, that is a shame. And I have the luxury of seeing the Indy 11 matches that are played here. That ball is headed down, but not much on it. And a goal kick coming from Mishawaka Marian. That throw that Warren made is as good as any throw I have seen in a match this year in this building.
Yep.
Neviel Hackshaw is that guy that tends to do that for the Indy 11, but Warren matched him step for step.
Now, when that ball that Pang just knocked away with his head, bringing it down with his chest, turning it down to the ground so he can get it on his foot, might have been a more effective way of getting a shot off on goal.
Close out by Jack Weeder, played off of his leg. It'll be a throw-in coming here for Mishawaka Marian. And we'll reset yet again. So about a third of the way through the opening half.
Get it down. Got to get it down.
Both teams have been aggressive. Opportunities maybe a bit more plentiful. Possession has been a bit more in favor of the Braves. And they are the defending 2A champs. Mishawaka Marian, the 1A champs in 2015 and 16, and that is a foul. Ben Hainline, the player that was fouled for Brebeuf, and now they will throw some more numbers forward as the restart will take place just past the midfield stripe. This is Finn Christ who will send it in. Christ, a midfielder / defender for Coach Zavaletta's squad.
It's a little flick here. Just a little flick.
Kerberger will attempt to track it down.
And he needs some bodies to support him. Good job of finding that release valve.
There's, again, a ball targeted for Warren, but could not keep it on frame. And a goal kick coming for Balliat.
What's really been nice about Marian defensively, they've felt a lot of pressure. They play a relatively high line in the back, so that the kind of threatening moments that you would expect, they're really happening in and around the 18-yard line as opposed to deeper, unless it's a corner kick situation or a ball that gets floated from a dead ball situation.
Opportunity here, advantage being played. That was deemed to be a foul against Brebeuf Jesuit, so the advantage is being played.
That's a good ball.
And here's the speed of Jackson Hunt.
So that was an outside of the right foot ball from midfield being played up to Hunt. Wasn't able to get it down to his feet, but it was a really dangerous ball being played in.
Now on the charge for it again. Here comes the Knights. Again, Hunt is the target. Could not cut it back, but it is off the defender and Weeder. And we'll see our first corner of the match 15 minutes in.
Marian.
Yeah, so not every goal for Marian came out of the run of play this season. They have been as effective in set-piece dead ball situations as they have been through the run of play. We'll see what they've got here.
Victor Aguilar will come to the corner flag. He has 9 assists on the campaign. Marian doing their best to put some traffic in front of the sizable netminder in Aiden Wade of Brebeuf Jesuit. Aguilar sends it in. Ball swept away. And a blast from the edge of the 18 by Walczak.
Got to get behind it.
Through.
Got to get behind the ball. And Brebeuf has got to get numbers forward.
3 defenders get behind the ball for Mishawaka Marian. Great ball here across the edge of the 18. Kerberger could not track it down. He'll have to wait for teammates to come help.
Yeah, you got to get Teddy Potts in there around the 6.
What a slicing run. Short angle.
Great save.
Save made by Balliat. Corner coming now for Brebeuf Jesuit.
Okay, so you had 3 guys across the line. Teddy Potts in the middle.
Number 8, Jake Rosenberg.
Did a nice job. Slice and dice is right. Teddy Potts at the 6. You had Rosenberg at the back post. I mean, you had guys exactly where you wanted to really create options for that attacking play.
Rosenberg will send it in. He slipped as he delivered the corner. It was Rosenberg that had the wonderful run inside of the 18 that will put the first kind of blast on target for today for Brebeuf. Physical back and forth, and it's going to be deemed that Brebeuf touched that last. Throw in coming here for Mishawaka Marian.
Well, the way that Marian was playing deep there, an angled ball to the end line and then cutting it back is going to result in havoc for Marian.
Kerberger commits the foul. By the way, there is a substitution at the 4th official when given the opportunity for Mishawaka Marian. Blaze Potts awaits to check in. Five runners lined up at the edge of the 18 here for the Knights. Ball sent in. Got to a Brebeuf head first, goes straight sideways, and now the Braves will clear it. And this ball will hold up right in front of the Mishawaka Marian bench. Bose trying to find Teddy Potts.
Bose really smooth. Got a nice left foot, got a nice right foot.
Great job by Hunt for Mishawaka Marian to simply lay off that ball, because he was in an offside position. Gillis was onside, and Gillis earns the second corner in a matter of moments here for Mishawaka Marian.
Yeah, it feels like there's been a little bit of a momentum shift here to favor Marian. They've gotten some serious opportunities here, keeping the ball in the attacking third, winning in midfield, getting it forward quickly.
So Potts in, and it's Gillis that will come off momentarily. The last corner was taken by Victor Aguilar. Now Marco will take this corner.
In-swinger coming. That's a good ball.
And Wade is there.
Handles it so well. I mean, with a 6'5" frame, again, just very easy to handle that.
In other words, are you almost better with such a taller and rangier goalkeeper to play that bowl low and try to get into the mix?
Yeah, so I would be driving balls in that situation, driving balls near post, because he's not going to be able to get to that as comfortably as he is a floated ball right into the center of the box there.
Warren will simply hit this ball towards the west side of town and hope a teammate can track it down. That is Kerberger that gives chase, but eventually that will be a goal kick coming for Mishawaka Marian. Enjoying the state finals? Help make sure the resources are available so that great games like these can be played forever by supporting the IHSAA Foundation. Go to IHSAAfoundation.org and make a tax-free contribution today. And alongside Mark Newman, Greg Rakestraw with you. Mark and I have the pleasure of working together on Indy 11 matches from time to time. We do the other Marian nights, if you will, as in Marian University men's and women's soccer. And for several years, we have now worked together on these IHSAA soccer state finals. Very evenly played match so far. Again, possession, probably favoring Brebeuf. Chances equal amongst the two squads, and no goals to show for it. The midway marker of half number 1. Pang. Ball finds its way back to Jack Weeder. Marian dropping off their press a little bit. With that being said, Fuel got in the way of that one and wins the ball back in the midfield for Marian. Potts was the target. Didn't get to him cleanly. Eventually the ball ricocheted off of Eli Moody. And now right back to Brebeuf. Both these teams, and Mark, you referenced it, showing some pretty understanding of just how wide the park is they are playing on.
Yeah, they've been doing a good job of finding as much width as possible. And now with the pressure dropping off, you're able to see a little bit more possession. It's very attractive. It sort of slows the pace of the game a bit. But as we're approaching sort of the midpoint here, I think we've exceeded the midpoint just a little bit, you would expect to see that.
Well, the nerves are somewhat settling in. The heart rate is slowing down a little bit now from playing on this, large stage here in Indianapolis. Tough sliding tackle effort, I think. Not necessarily the contact, just kind of the ferocity of the tackle is the reason for that whistle. And a quick talking to.
Brebeuf really putting numbers around Jackson right now. It's very tough for him to drop and find balls that his teammates are trying to play at his feet.
Mateo Soria, the ball at his feet for the Braves, and quickly played right back to him. Soria looking back post, nice. Good flick, but up and over the bar, but fantastic service that time. Hainline just lifted it up and over the crossbar, but another quality look for Brebeuf Jesuit.
Yeah, very well placed here. This is a situation with Marian. You've got to do a much better job of getting a body on a body. That outside back didn't read it as well as he probably could have, and needed to step back and put a body on that
for
player.
the Braves, number 5, Gabriel Vasquez Jaffe.
The Gabriel Vasquez Jaffe will enter for Brebeuf Jesuit. He's played in all matches this year, 1 goal and 1 assist. We've barely seen any spell of possession along the back line for Mishawaka Marian. And again, they go route 1. Hunt trying to time it up. Didn't get what he wanted to on it.
Pressure here. Giving him too much time to find a player. Great job of switching the point of attack.
First touch just a little bit too strong. That's a tough ass. Vasquez Jaffe just entered the match, and he has this opportunity to potentially a breakaway.
Here we go.
Couldn't do it.
Slip him on the ground. You got to slip him on the ground.
Hunt the opportunity. Cut back by Aguilar. At the edge of the 18,
now you
cut
need more
back
numbers.
Again. Shot deflected. It will be a corner coming. Third of this half for Mishawaka Marian.
Really, I thought missed a perfect opportunity to send Jackson Hunt into space with just a little angled ball to the touch to the end line.
You and I have I wouldn't say the 30,000-foot view, about the 5,000-foot view. We can see all the pieces move, all 22 from our angle here. Atop Michael A. Carroll Track and Soccer Stadium.
Drive this ball. You got to get near post runners if you can.
Warren, again, it's a luxury Brebeuf has. You've got a 6'5 keeper and a 6'6 defender that anything in the air, more than likely one's going to get there first.
Well, that's right. And as an option, I mean, the thought is in your mind as the guy taking that corner kick, if I'm going to float the ball back post, I got to pull it out just a little bit more, and the more you pull it out, the less dangerous it is.
As you and I talk tactics as we have a substitution, what do you think about a short corner in that
Short
scenario?
corner is great because what you want to do is draw that player off of the front post, and you want to force the goalkeeper to step back on his goal line. And that opens things up right in front of the 6.
And that concludes Techers Talk between Greg and Mark here during the middle of the broadcast. So throw-in coming for the Braves. Another substitution awaits for Mishawaka Marian. It's Michael Bopel that is standing by our 4th official. Ball played forward.
Good job there by Marian.
Teddy Potts will track it down. Trying to find that pocket of space between midfielders and defenders. Ball goes left side. That's Pang. Pang gets around his defender. Not going to keep it in
Good
play.
job,
He
Pang.
does. Back heel. Sitting there back post and swept across the byline. It will be a corner coming for Brebeuf Jesuit.
Pang did a great job of turning a lemon into lemonade. He started his run actually just a little bit late. That slide there with the missed tackle helped him some, but I would want to see him start that run a little bit earlier, and then he's able to drive that ball back post.
Rosenberg will send it in. Again, looking for Warren. Ball didn't get through to him. Victor Aguilar will sweep it back towards midfield. Hunt will track it down. He's got two behind the ball and two defenders heading his general direction. Perfect layoff to a teammate. But now Brebeuf gets defenders 5, 6, and 7 back. Still an opportunity here. Wade, though, Johnny on the spot. If he waits a half a second longer, that's easily a goal for Mishawaka Marian.
Yep. Credit to Brebeuf for doing a great job of transitioning back, getting players behind the ball, but in the process, disrupting that attacking effort by Marian. Good overlap here. What you going to do with it, Teddy? There we go.
Ball played off the defender and Reynolds. Throw in coming. And again, let's see if they wait for Warren, and Warren is heading that way now. That's kind of really almost the only sort of delay we've had at all in this half is when Warren has taken these throws and has come in from his defender's position. He's going to get about 5 lanes of run up here. Puts down at the edge of the 6.
Sun becoming more of a factor for these backs and for that goalkeeper. So to the extent that they're able to continue to create throw-in opportunities from inside the 18 there, it's going to be dangerous for Marian.
That was a foul that was whistled on Bose, by the way. And this is our first of 4 today here on the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. We'll follow with a 3A boys final. Mark and I will have that one. Noblesville and Columbus North. Potts at the edge of the 18. Follow-up ball here, trying to make the run through. Slotted left side. Kerberger. Not in a position to shoot, but now we'll wait for teammates. Kerberger draws the foul.
That's the right call. As this half wears on, fatigue sets in a little bit. We're starting to see a little shape get lost by Brebeuf from their attackers to their midfielders. A little too much space there. Got to tighten it up.
What's interesting is that there's been a couple of opportunities, small ones you'd say, from the run of play. Think about the number of set pieces and corners we have had that have generated looks here in the first 28 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, it won't surprise me if we see our first goal of the game come from that situation. And if you notice here, so you got Warren at the back post. You know, they're going to target him. He's in a great spot. It's just going to take that little bit of daylight, that one moment.
Rosenberg, ball got through.
And it's in.
But
is it a foul or is it a goal?
I think it's I'm not sure. Yep, foul. Yep.
A lot of contact there, but that's the kind of aggressive play that you need, attacking the ball coming off of a free kick like that.
Well, I'm still waiting to see the official designation here.
Nice floated ball into the back.
That's a goal kick.
Yeah, it should be. I mean, there was way too much body contact. Not going for the ball in that situation.
So Balliot, let's take one more look at this.
Drove it in there, but so Warren came in with his shoulders turned and he used his back to try and knock the ball down, and it wasn't really going for the ball. He was going for the contact. You can see it there.
What I was trying to determine is whether that ball officially across the end line, even if it had not been whistled down for a foul. So still scoreless.
Use some speed here. Gets that bursting around him. Got to whip it in. That's too bad.
Payne got there first. Quickly finds Kerberger.
Great job by Peng, and just technically, you get your foot caught in the turf a little bit. You don't get a clean strike through the ball, but that was exactly the burst of speed you needed to beat that last defender.
Advantage being played for Brebeuf. Right idea, just the wrong ball.
Beautiful idea.
Yep. The connectivity of the Brebeuf players is fun to watch.
Well,
you can tell this is a group that's played a lot of soccer together.
Yeah, I mean, exactly right. You just know they're thinking the right things. And I shouldn't even use the word thinking. They're reacting the right things, because their heads are up. They're doing a great job of scanning, seeing, and executing.
Bo's the player that went to ground, deemed to be not enough in it for a foul. But possession maintained by Brebeuf Jesuit. Pang with one of the first kind of errant passes of the match for Brebeuf. The turf bounce, eventually figured out by Mishawaka Marian. And Hunt, to some degree, is out on Striker's Island right now for Mishawaka Marian. But they're okay with that because they know if he has space, he'll make something happen.
Yeah, and I think he's been on Striker's Island all season. I mean, the idea behind the way Marian plays is find Hunt however you can, wherever you can, and let's see what happens.
Like right there.
Yeah.
And what that allows you to do, frankly, is that a lot of times put 8 and 9 behind the ball.
That's right. And, so he's their leading goal scorer, but he's also their leading assist maker. So a selfless kid who understands when the opportunity is his, take it.
Here's Potts. Can he find a window of space?
Good job.
Use the left foot, went near post. Balliot was ready for it.
Nice job both ends, Potts, Balliot. But to finish the thought about Hunt, I mean, he's a selfless kid. If he doesn't have a goal-scoring opportunity himself, he's going to find somebody else.
Let's talk about Noah Balliot. He's made some really nice plays as of late for Mishawaka Marian. He is allowing about 0.7 goals a game. Same for Aiden Wade for Brebeuf Jesuit.
Yep.
Balliot with 11 clean sheets on the season.
And he's been very steady. I mean, last year, I think was his sophomore year, and it was a shaky year from him. Wasn't expecting to be a starter, sort of thrown into the mix by Coach Householder, and has matured into that role. And this year he has really stepped up and become a leader for this group.
Ball finds Potts. Potts trying to work his way around a defender. Again, right idea on that ball, just couldn't find a teammate. Throw in coming. A trio of substitutions await for Mishawaka Marian. Gillis will re-enter. Ethan Bryant for the first time, and Michael Bopel has been there for a while at the fourth official.
Good job of tracking back by Brebeuf there. Marian losing a little bit of the pace that they were playing with in the early going. Got to really get this ball moving because we're seeing a tenacious Brebeuf continuing to apply high pressure as we approach the 8-minute mark.
And now the substitutions will be waved on, so 3 sets of fresher legs about to enter.
Yeah, I mean, this could be the thing that they needed. They just needed to get some extra oxygen into the lungs of those guys. This Marian team has been working extremely hard, but getting some fresh legs in there is going to help them as they close out the half.
Victor Aguilar will exit, get his first breather. Looks like Blaze Potts also. He and Gillis are kind of job sharing up top alongside of Hunt.
Just settle it. When you've got time, somebody's got to be talking to him. Tell him he's got time so you maintain possession in a really important moment.
And that's a cynical foul. If you and I are here on Saturday nights in the spring, we call that a professional foul.
Yeah.
Taking the bump to slow down the pace of play. Warren picks up a lot of real estate with that blast.
Yeah, that shows his field goal kicking capability with that ball.
On Friday night, that's a touchback for him. And they beat Mooresville 35-14 last night. And so Quinn, his soccer season ends today. He'll play for a sectional championship in football next Friday night against Roncalli.
That'll probably be a dogfight.
That is a conference matchup in the Circle City Conference. Roncalli won the regular season game, and they're going to go back. Yep. And again, that's great officiating. In the midfield, you'd say, okay, advantage.
Right.
But because that is a restart at such a key point just outside of the 18, the advantage truly for Brebeuf is to have the restart there, so that it's well officiated by our match referee.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I love how much progress has been made in the quality of officiating in Indiana high school soccer. Really some great training is being done, developing some great referees here, and they've got a great group that they've assigned for this game.
Ball sent in. Marian got there first. Hunt. Pang will knock it forward. A little more real estate bought by the squad in all blue.
Good double here, forcing him to play the ball back.
Ball headed back to the keeper. I'm not sure that was intentional, but it worked just the same.
Yeah, and this is an instance where Balliot wants to just take a moment, let his guys get forward, let them get to good spots.
Yeah, these are two teams that have played like they are renting the facility. They have, every restart has been quick.
Yeah.
There's Hunt. No, that wasn't Hunt. That was Gillis, excuse me. Hunt's playing on the near side currently.
That's a great, little heavy, but the idea
again,
was spot on.
The speed of thought, tremendous.
And I think that's an example of what Carlos Zavaleta has sort of impressed upon the groups of his kids that he's had year over year. That central midfield role is so important, but using the flank, exploiting the outside space there, getting paint on your boots, as we always say, using that space to really get into the attacking third.
Because the activity has been so fast-paced, we haven't had time to get kind of into many backstories, so to speak. But we will tell you about Carlos's background when the opportunity presents itself in the match, when kind of the ball's in a non-threatening position. Carlos played for the El Salvadorian national team before then emigrating to the United States. Opportunity here, and again, no striker close to it. Carlos's son, Eric, plays for the LA Galaxy. He, too, plays now for the El Salvadorian national team because of his father's ties to the country. So when the U.S. played El Salvador in their opening match of the octagonal qualifying for the World Cup coming up in a few weeks last September, Eric from Westfield was playing for El Salvador against Team USA.
Yeah, and they were training at Grand Park.
Absolutely. Well, that was Mexico that's training at Grand Park before their match in Cincinnati. Was El Salvador there too?
Yes. Yeah, because there was a story that I heard of El Salvador coming to Indiana to do their training, and it was Grand Park. So.
Ball never materialized in an opportunity there for Mishawaka Marian. Approaching 3 minutes left to go here in the first half. It's been enjoyable, even without the benefit of a goal. Brebeuf came the closest to one on a couple of different opportunities. Again, Wade on the sprint.
Good job.
Shows you the respect they have for Jackson Hunt. Wade knows anything he can get to in the 18, go get it.
Well, any goalkeeper worth his salt is going to know that he's got to be able to get off of his line like a cat in order to pick something up there, because those dangerous moments can quickly turn into picking the ball out of the back of the net.
A little heavy on that pass. And again, now Hunt will try to track it down. Two defenders back. Warren.
That's the mistake you want.
Was there a touch there? Yes.
Got to move. Got to move here.
Corner kick, Marian.
About 2.5 minutes left. They've got to take advantage of this.
If I'm Marian, I think I might deflate this a little bit. I think I might let my guys get all set, kind of shrink some time here in the half.
Now, to your comment earlier about the short corner, this really is an instance where something like that sort of variation in the way you execute a corner kick would really come in handy at this point of the game.
Ball sent in. Goes all the way to the back post, headed down by Bopel, but didn't get much on it. Asked for a touch off a Brebeuf player. Did not get the whistle. Goal kick coming. Brebeuf has a player by the fourth official, but won't be waved in just yet. Now he will be.
Brave substitution number 15, Ian Kuczynski.
So Kuczynski comes on. He's played in all 21 matches this year. Junior midfielder and defender. We'll get a cup of coffee here at the end of the half before the 10-minute halftime break. Sprinting after this one, Jackson Cooper. Vasquez Jaffe trying to get it inside of the 18.
1 minute.
And you'll hear the countdown when we get down to 10 seconds.
One more.
There's the touch.
Nice little
There's the
touch.
overlapping run. Fuel. Now we'll buy some real estate. There's not a Marian player within 30 yards of it, but frankly, that's okay. That ball did what it was supposed to do. Just clear it and move along.
Now Wade just playing like he wants to get to halftime. Understandable. Getting into the locker room at 0-0, I think is good for both of these teams.
Down to 15 seconds now.
10, 9, 8.
Give this a hit.
6.
Try to find Hunt.
5,
Warren got back there
4,
next.
3.
And that will be the
2,
end of festivities here in
1.
half number one. Evenly played so far. Again,
Fans
possession
outscored
has been more
halftime
in
of the
favor of
2A
Brebeuf,
boys
but the opportunities have been
championship
plentiful
final.
going in both directions.
Brebeuf
Our
Jesuit
score
0,
at the break, it is the
Mishawaka
Braves of
Marian
Brebeuf
0.
Jesuit 0, the Knights of Mishawaka Marian 0. It is the 2A Boys State Championship Soccer match, and you're watching on the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance.
And the Indiana High
You're good at making big announcements. We're good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
There are fans, and then there are fans. The diehards. They're those that don't just have a seat at a game, but a home away from home. The ones who made home field advantage a real thing. Who believe the horseshoe isn't just a logo, but a way of life.
Inspired by touch, by play, by listening and laughter. Inspired by family gatherings and one-on-one conversations. Inspired by long walks, long lives, and lives simply lived well. Inspired by compassion, by healing, by grace and strength. What inspires us at Franciscan Health is you. Franciscan Health, inspiring health.
My life has changed tenfold. I mean, from what I was doing prior to sheet metal, I can't even express how great it's become.
Future's bright in this industry because it's not going away.
With the union trades, I am earning an associate's degree without any college debt whatsoever.
Right now is one of the greatest times to start this process. With our benefits packages and our retirement packages, we're very tough to beat.
It's 2 p.m. Saturday afternoon. You have two choices. Option 1, take 2 nanoseconds to reach over and put on your seatbelt. Or option 2, decide it's too much work for a Saturday and don't put on your seatbelt. As the seatbelt alarm continues to sing the song of its people, you roll your eyes. You're just going down the block, you'll be fine. You take a turn to the left and that's when you see it.
Just wear your seatbelt. It's an easy way to save your own life. The Indiana Criminal Justice Institute wants to remind you that choices matter. Click it to live it.
The goal isn't graduation day. It's a better every day after. It's the first day in your new career. Your first pay raise. The 5th day of that week-long vacation. It's the first paid holiday home with your family. Or the day of your last car loan payment. Much sooner than you thought. At Ivy Tech Community College, we don't just care about your degree. We care about your life. Let's get started at ivytech.edu.
Again, we are back at halftime here on the campus of IUPUI, scoreless in this 2A Boys State Championship match. Today's telecast is copyrighted by the Indiana High School Athletic Association for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, videos, and audio without the express written permission of the IHSAA is strictly prohibited. Greg Rakestraw and Mark Newman with you. Mark, overall, your thoughts on the opening 40 minutes of play?
It's been a great game, really. I mean, it's been a nice open game. Both teams have been able to express their styles pretty effectively. There's some adjustments, I'm sure, that both coaching staffs are talking about with their players, and I think there are some things that can be done in order for both of these teams to get at one another just a little bit more.
Some of the stats from half number one: 9 shots in total for Brebeuf, 2 of those on target, 7 for Mishawaka Marian, none of those officially on target. Mishawaka Marian went to the corner flag 4 times. Brebeuf went to the corner flag twice. Again, let's now talk tactics, potential changes thereof. Let's start with Mishawaka Marian. What is Ben Hausholter's message to his team right now?
Well, I think they've been a little too direct out of the midfield. The way that Brebeuf has effectively built a triangle around Jackson Hunt, he's had a few opportunities, but they've been able to close him down pretty effectively. I think that what Marian needs to do differently in the second half is bring more from the flanks. You know, they've done a great job of getting up and down the field, but they have been using Zach Fuel or Eli Moody quite to the extent that they should, getting them a little bit more width. Serving balls, trying to find Jackson Hunt so he's able to use his head, he's able to use his chest, he's able to use his feet and get something on goal.
On the flip side, Carlos Zavaleta, you can literally see him on screen speaking to his team. What are the Braves thinking about in terms of any potential changes in half number 2?
Yeah, well, they've got to come out into the second half, high pressure again. They've been effective, I think, all game long with their possession, doing a nice job. We talked about having a head on a swivel. They've distributed the ball very effectively, changing the point of attack multiple times in various attacking forays during that period. They need to continue to see more of the ball, and they need to be able to put pressure on the Marian goal, force them to have to make saves, force them to have to create rebound situations, and see if they can't stick one of those.
Again, this is the first of 4 matches you'll see today on the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Mark and I will have the next contest slated for a 1:30 start as Columbus North and Noblesville play for the 3A Boys State Championship, and the Millers attempt to go back-to-back. Then it is the 3A Girls contest between Hamilton County rivals Carmel and Noblesville, followed up by the 1A State Championship. Park Tudor looking to win both the boys and girls state finals. Their boys won in beyond dominant fashion last night. Park Tudor plays Fort Wayne Canterbury coming up at 6:30 this evening to wrap up a busy day of soccer in downtown Indianapolis. We'll take this quick timeout. We'll come back with second half action next. Scoreless through 40 in this 2A boys state championship game as you're watching on the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance.
You're good at making big announcements. We're good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
There are fans, and then there are fans. The diehards. They're those that don't just have a seat at a game, but a home away from home. The ones who made home field advantage a real thing. Who believe the horseshoe isn't just a logo, but a way of life.
Inspired by touch, by play, by listening and laughter. Inspired by family gatherings and one-on-one conversations. Inspired by long walks, long lives, and lives simply lived well. Inspired by compassion, by healing, by grace and strength. What inspires us at Franciscan Health is you. Franciscan Health, inspiring health.
My life has changed tenfold. I mean, from what I was doing prior to sheet metal, I can't even express how great it's become.
Future's bright in this industry because it's not going away.
With the union trades, I am earning an associate's degree without any college debt whatsoever.
Right now is one of the greatest times to start this process. With our benefits packages and our retirement packages, we're very tough to beat.
It's 2 p.m. Saturday afternoon. You have two choices. Option 1, take 2 nanoseconds to reach over and put on your seatbelt. Or option 2, decide it's too much work for a Saturday and don't put on your seatbelt. As the seatbelt alarm continues to sing the song of its people, you roll your eyes. You're just going down the block, you'll be fine. You take a turn to the left and that's when you see it.
Just wear your seatbelt. It's an easy way to save your own life. The Indiana Criminal Justice Institute wants to remind you that choices matter. Click it to live it.
The goal isn't graduation day. It's a better everyday after. It's the first day in your new career. Your first pay raise. The 5th day of that week-long vacation. It's the first paid holiday home with your family. Or the day of your last car loan payment. Much sooner than you thought. At Ivy Tech Community College, we don't just care about your degree. We care about your life. Let's get started at ivytech.edu.
Want to make sure you thank Heath Shanahan, the man behind the operation with the IHSAA Champions Network, for obviously all that he does today. Today, a busy day for the folks in the IHSA offices because in addition to this state championship taking place, you have another, in fact, 2 state championships taking place over at the Laverne Gibson Cross Country Course, the world-renowned course over in Terre Haute. The girls and boys cross country state finals taking place today. And there are also volleyball semi-states taking place across the state of Indiana today. All of those available on the IHSAA Champions Network. Jackson Hunt standing over the ball, simply waiting for the go-ahead. Mishawaka Marian in a ready position. Brebeuf Jesuit still huddling up in between the midfield stripe and the goal to the west of the stadium they will be defending. And our second 40 minutes will be underway momentarily. We referenced the fact that 7 shots in the first half by Mishawaka Marian. 4 of them came from Jackson Hunt. Players ready. Ball finds Potts. Potts pressured by Eli Moody, and Moody gets a quick takeaway. Fuel now will knock it forward. Weeder hustles there for Brebeuf Jesuit. We'll play that ball to his side. It did take a touch, though, off the Mishawaka Marian player, so throw in coming, and Pang will take it for the Braves.
He was good for them in the first half. See how he is on the other side there as this half moves on. Now, the second ball here, one of the things we didn't talk about at the break was the importance of the second ball. That big ball played forward to start things off by Marian. If you're going to play a ball like that, you've got to get players around it to get the second ball, so it becomes a dangerous moment.
This. Hunt, again, just kind of walled up by Wade. Ball fell to Hunt, but he was at such a tight angle, and the defender really kind of tucked alongside Wade in his hip pocket. There was really nowhere to go.
Yeah. He did about everything he could with that one. Great job by Wade showing patience. I mean, goalkeeping is not all about great hands. There's so much of it that's about great feet. Wade did a super job of being patient, getting set, and used his feet to make that save.
Technically, that will go down as the first save of the day made by Wade. That would, though, underestimate the role that he played in the first half. Thought he was great about getting off of his line and squelching potential opportunities for the Knights. Throw in coming here for Brebeuf.
Second ball. We're going to talk about second balls a lot here this half because I think there's going to be a difference-making opportunity because it's going to increase possession for either team if they're better at it.
Baliata, rather easy play for his first touch of the half.
Nice job here.
Shoulder to shoulder. Official says play on. Fuel at the edge of the 18. Knocks it
He's going to
past
have
the
to do it
defender.
himself.
And that touch then took him past a shooting opportunity and really didn't have an angle to find a teammate. It will be a throw-in, though. Not far from the corner flag for Mishawaka Marian. Ball headed down. Left-footed blast, and Wade, as that ball moved, he drifted over and made the stop as well. And
shot on goal, number 28,
already that's two
Marco
shots on
Aguilar.
target
Save made
in
by Aiden
3
Wade.
minutes played by the Knights.
Yeah, did a nice job here. Got good contact with the ball. Wade coming up big, getting his body hands behind it. Marian needs to continue to find moments like that, and they've got to be able to flood the box with additional players. They're getting one, sometimes no players in the box. The player with the ball on the flank isn't having a target to play to. So really got to focus on getting those numbers.
You get the feeling that from Marian, if there's a goal in this for them, it might be one of those blasts from around the 18-yard box in today's game.
Well, that's where they're getting their opportunities. I mean, there have been a few instances where they've gotten inside the box, dangerous moment. We saw that one by Jackson Hunt at the beginning of the half. But, yeah, a lot of these opportunities are coming from outside the 18. And it's going to have to be a bomb. I mean, he's going to have to really hit it to penetrate that back line.
The one difference that may be the guy that's chasing the ball right
Here
now.
we go.
In Hunt. Gives it a hit.
Great
Wade
save.
Sprays it. Not in danger just yet.
Shot on
Now
goal by number
Kerber
3,
will play it
Jackson
sideways
Hunt.
again.
Saved
If
by
Hunt's
Wade.
speed on the counter, to me, that's going to be the most direct look they're going to get on goal throughout the course of the match.
Yeah. Well, this is a situation where, much like in basketball, where you have a trailing player who's picking up the pieces if it's an errant layup or something like that. You've got to have guys at the back post for deflections like that. Wade made a great save, but it dropped at the 6-yard box. If a Marian player is there, it could be in the back of the net.
Wade on the season, 120 saves. He is basically averaging 6 a match. He had none in the first half. He has had 3 in the opening moments of this half. So Marian, maybe more so than at any other time in the match, on the front foot now to start half number 2. And again, pressure picked up by Mishawaka Marian. Let's go all the way back to Wade. And there's Hunt being a bother.
Get around the ball here.
Vasquez Jaffe.
Well, here's trouble. That's a great ball played out to the flank.
Ball swept sideways, and that ball will stay to the left of the corner flag. It will be a throw-in.
Hung up there a little bit too much, and I think it gave an opportunity for Marian to get to it. A little bit more pace on that ball would have slipped through.
Buff last year, 3-1 winners over West Lafayette. Warren likes to stay back on this throw. Ball headed down, and Balliot was hustling, trying to get over and save that, but it now will be a corner, and now Warren will make his way forward here for the Braves.
That's a good ball.
Warren couldn't get
to it. Good job, Balliot, coming out hard.
Keeper is down. Mishawaka Marian has it in midfield. Take away by Brebeuf.
Got to close this ball. Close this ball. Giving him way too much. Whew.
Keeper is backing up right. That was Pankevich that eventually got in the way for Mishawaka Marian.
Did a nice job of stepping forward at the last minute.
And we're going to stop right now because Warren had remained down inside of the 6.
Well, he and Balliot made a really, they collided pretty hard. Balliot was a little slow getting up too.
The trainer being waved on. Clock is stopped with 33:12 left to go here in the second half.
I did see Warren just sort of wave off the trainer. I'm going to be okay, I think, is what he was trying to say. He's got to walk this off.
And if he is out for an extended period of time, that is a big loss.
Yeah.
Because he is such a key factor on what they do in terms of not just defensively, but set pieces and restarts as well.
Glad to see that he's walking off pretty much. He seems to be getting more comfortable as he's walking toward the touchline there.
Warren, one of those 13 juniors that are a part of this Brebeuf program.
Number 8, Jake Rosenberg, enters the match for the Brebeuf Braves.
Vincent Rodriguez in for Brebeuf Jesuit. Rosenberg had been getting a breather, and so he'll come in to replace Warren. This will be Brebeuf on the restart. A drop ball here. Just a little bit past the midfield stripe. Eli Moody being told to give a little more space here because of the clear possession Brebeuf had. Then he proceeds to play it off the referee. Good diagonal ball here, didn't get through. Rosenberg was the target. Now the midfield fuel.
That was an example of why you look at Victor Aguilar and say, this kid plays beyond his years. His feet are just so good, so comfortable with the ball.
And yes, Victor is just a freshman. Throw in coming.
It's like he has a little string on the shoe, you know?
That'll be a throw. Restart coming for the Braves. And we'll keep an eye on the sideline. And an errant throw. We'll give it right back to Mishawaka Marian. So Brebeuf just kind of lacking that spark that we saw for a good chunk of the first half.
Yeah, Marian doing a much better job of getting at them than Brebeuf is at getting at Marian right now.
We're going to redo the throw here. Aguilar.
Not a bad ball. Oh, boy, that's a good ball. Oh, wow.
Mishawaka Marian is on the board first. And it is their leading goal scorer in Jackson
Hunt. Mishawaka Marian.
His 29th
Scored
this
by
season.
number 3, Jackson Hunt.
Beautifully done. Aguilar's ball just beautifully played to the back post. Hangs it up there for the perfect amount of time for Jackson Hunt to knot it in the back of the net.
Aguilar with his 10th assist of the season. Again, you would say to some degree this was against the run of play in the first half, not in the second half.
Right.
That's the 4th shot on target in the first 8+ minutes for Mishawaka Marian. And now the Knights enjoy a 1-goal lead. How does that goal change how this match is played, Mark?
I think some of it's going to depend on whether we see Warren back into the game. He was able to neutralize so many things with the different weapons he brings. With him out, it could really open things up in the back.
Jackson Cooper. Put that ball right in the midst of Noah Balliap. Mishawaka Marian playing in the state finals for the first time in 6 years, a previous 2-time state champ. And that's in our days of having 2 classes for soccer. They were the 1A champs in both 2015 and 2016. As a school, this is their 4th appearance in the state finals. In 2008, soccer was a 1-class sport, and Mishawaka Marian made an appearance.
What Marian's doing a very good job of defensively right now is really pushing Brebeuf wide, pushing him wide to use that touch line as almost a third defender because they're getting 2 to double the ball, and then you've got the pressure of the touch line behind it. It's forcing errors by Brebeuf. Head up, head up. Good cover here. Nice little battle there. Got to do much more with it when you get possession, though. Got to keep it within your team. You're going to give that much work.
Good find to get to Cooper. Now space in the
Close.
midfield for Brebeuf. Right eye just a
Stay
little
with it.
heavy on the touch, and that will turn into a goal kick here for Mishawaka Marian. Now Balliot taking a little more time on these restarts. Shaving a few seconds here and there.
Yeah.
Potts won that ball away for a moment. 2 defenders around Fuel, who will find a way to lift it. Good ball by Rodriguez to get in there. We're also starting to see that possession that Brebeuf had in half and one start to break up a little bit.
Yeah, so, well, they're not using, they're not switching the point of attack as frequently or as effectively as they had been able to do in the first half. Marian, much better job of disrupting things. They've got to refine that.
For Brebeuf, number 14, Ben Hainline, and number 54, Quinn Warren.
So this is an important substitution. We'll see how that injury has affected Warren, if he's able to come back 100% or if he's a little bit hampered by it. But that's an important substitution for sure. And they're moving him to the front. He's no longer playing in the back, so that adds a whole new dimension to their attacking effort.
Hainline finds Warren. Warren. Fuel does a good job of getting in the way. Hit there by Brebeuf. Will be a goal kick. And I think there was a jersey tug there that Mishawaka Marian wanted to call on and didn't get the whistle. And our referee is talking to them about said meeting of the minds between Marco Aguilar and Quinn Warren. And Hunt giving chase.
Let it roll.
Will be shepherded across the byline. Today's match presented in part by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. You're good at being you. You've been you for years. Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance is good at your insurance. Find an agent to help you think about it at infb.com. Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance and stop knocking on wood.
Second ball here.
Again, Hunt.
Good.
Up top. Fuel was his intended target. Couldn't get it to him.
I appreciate the idea. Fuel a little bit late trying to get into the attack. There's got to be a little bit better communication there between Hunt and Fuel on a ball being played to the flank like that.
Mateo Soria will return.
Returning for the Brebeuf Braves, number 28, Mateo Soria.
Ian Kaczynski, the player that has a seat.
Get it down.
Pretty tight rotation so far by both of these two teams. Good read, opportunity. That's Gillis. And Gillis is dispossessed. Kerberger took it back away from him. Hainline once on the diagonal ball. Didn't get to him because Bowe's got a boot to it.
Got to get numbers forward. It's going to be Hunt by himself, and he's got a one-on-one situation.
But couldn't keep it in play. And it will be a throw-in coming here for Brebeuf. But you'll take that opportunity every time for Mishawaka Marian.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he wins the majority of his duels. The situation that I want to see Marian get into in order to create a little bit more comfort for themselves is if they're getting those support players forward and they can pick up pieces for where Hunt may lose the ball and stick one of those, then it gives them that additional goal cushion, potential goal cushion.
So Warren, again, will take the throw. Rockets this one to the edge of the 6. Mishawaka Marian got ahead there first.
Get forward. Got to get forward. Create transition here. You want to minimize those situations where you work so hard to take the ball off of an important throw like that and then just give it away, just playing it forward without the real idea behind it.
Aguilar finds Eli Moody.
Here we go.
Taken away, Warren at the edge of the 18. Here's Potts.
That's it. Get it out of the pressure. Get it out of the pressure.
Works through 3 defenders.
Nice work by Teddy Potts, eventually finding the right guy.
Player was onside. Warren heads it down, but couldn't make the final linking pass, and Balliot is all over it. I want to make sure you recognize the ball kids that are representing each of these 2 schools in today's match. Colin France, Ben Hummer, Alan Healy, and Luca Kosa from Brebeuf Jesuit. Johnny Potts, Charlotte Potts, Renee Reynolds, and Flannery Coleman from Mishawaka Marian.
Got a lot of Potts in the house, it sounds like.
Opportunity here. Fuel try to work through 2 defenders. Nothing there. Well done by Brebeuf.
Quick.
Center back casually plays it forward to Warren.
So the transition by Mishawaka Marian, a little slow to transition back, then get behind the ball. This is an opportunity for Brebeuf to create counter situations. Counter. Get numbers forward. Here we go. Go at him.
Give and go in the midfield. Thought Potts might give that a hit from distance for a moment, but elected to pull it back. Ball sent in, and again, as soon as Rosemary put his hands to his head, said, nope, that was a wrong ball.
Yeah, nothing there. There's nothing wrong with just being patient, keeping the ball at your feet, letting your guys get into spots to create those attacking options. You want 2. You want 3 options if you can create them. If nobody's pressuring you, take it.
Space in the midfield. Looking for Warren. Warren trying to get a back heel to it.
Get it down. Nice. That's where having 6'6" reach is really helpful.
Left-footed shot that never threatened the goal. Hainline. Again, Balliot has been busy, but he hasn't had anything really threatening in these first 18 minutes of the half.
Yeah, I mean, he's put himself into body contact situations. I mean, he's taken some knocks. He's had has had his bell rung a few times, both in the first and second half, but nothing super threatening.
Long distance ball. Gillis gives chase. Calmly headed by Pang. Back to Aiden Wade. Here are the Mishawaka Marian fans. Encouraging on their team.
Oh, this right-sided overlap. That's a good spot.
Hainline finds Soria. Soria defended by Ethan Bryant. Good job by Bryant. Forced that ball back about 30 yards. Potts the target. Headed away by Mishawaka Marian. Rodriguez finds Fuel. Back to Fuel. He's got Hunt to
good
his
job
left.
By Rosenberg dogging him.
He does. Perfectly weighted ball.
This is your guy.
Hunt plays it across for a teammate.
Nice.
Just couldn't get it on frame, but a wide open net could have made it 2-0.
Great example of the selflessness by Jackson Hunt, doing a nice job with the outside of his right just to knock that ball back. Unfortunately, it didn't find the back of the net, but he is dangerous on so many levels.
Knocked forward. Diagonal ball, right idea, just didn't get to him. Potts, the follow-up. Then Christ goes down. We play on.
We haven't called Stefan Bose's name much in this half. Got to see him get a little bit more involved in things in the attack for Brebeuf.
What a run by Fuel.
Great save.
Great save. Vincent Rodriguez did nothing wrong. That was all Aiden Wade to keep his team in it.
Both ends. That is big-time football on display there.
Now Warren trying to create some space. And just play to the side by J.J. Oliver. Mark, walk us through it.
Just a great attacking foray here, and I love the patience by Warren. He had to stay low, but be able to get high, and did a great job of driving that ball with his right hand over the crossbar. We got a tie game, it looks like.
When we come back, we have ourselves a tying goal. On the throw, Brebeuf has leveled the match. It is Ben Hayline with the tying goal. His 15th of the season, second best for the Braves.
Scored by number 14, Ben Hayline.
Great ball flicked.
Give the assist, and literally you just said, we have not called Stephen Bose's name a lot. He had the assist.
Yeah.
He had the touch that lifted it to Hayline. For Bose, it is his 6th assist of the season. That ties him for second best on Brebeuf. So both teams now a second half goal, and this one is there for the taking for either side at a goal apiece.
It's living up to everything you would expect and want out of a state championship game.
Now, simply put, we think these are two of the best teams in the state, regardless of class, that are playing today, and you can see that with how they have played.
Yeah, I mean, quite honestly, I'm seeing a technical display. I wasn't sure what to expect because we hadn't seen them matched up against one another, but technical for technical, they have got some really great players. And their tactics, the ability to use these flanks to get the ball forward, to then track back in transition and get their shape defensively, they really have both played a very good game here.
And again, the tactical change for Brebeuf has been moving Warren up top and out of his defensive role. Well, frankly, that half had belonged to Mishawaka Marian. Not just on the scoreboard, but in kind of how the match had been played. Let's see if this shifts the momentum back to what it was in the first half, which was more Brebeuf Jesuit kind of dictating the tempo and tenor of the match. Here's Fuel. He has become a much more integral part of the attack here in the second half.
Nice little ball.
Hunt knocks it forward. Pang recovers. Fuel nudges him aside. Fuel the slaloming run, but Wade makes the sprawling effort.
Great job. Just a great job by Pang being the disruptor there. But just that was just a great little attacking effort.
Fuel on the season, 6 goals and 5 assists. Fuel as a midfielder at 6'1", certainly a sizable presence.
He's been playing sort of as a 9. I mean, he's been really an effective front runner, too, sort of partnering with Jackson Hunt up there. He's been as dangerous as Hunt has been.
Well, it wasn't as if Marian played poorly in the first half.
Oh, exactly.
They are playing better in the second half. And really so much of what they accomplished in the first half was off of set pieces, was off of corners. Pretty much everything's been of the run of play here. Can play her down for Marian, we play on. Hayline the target. Got a flick to it, but not on target and not with much pace. And Balliot is able to pick it up.
Good job by Brebeuf, just getting out of some potential trouble there in the back. Head up here. Warren's got to see. Ooh, overran the ball a little bit, but he was getting into space. I was waiting for him to pick his head up to see where his options were.
Rodriguez got in the way of that one. Pang surveys the field, plays it back to a teammate. And all the way back to the keeper in Wade. Gillis takes it away. And then Gillis is taken down. That is a foul. A restart opportunity coming here for Mishawaka Marian.
Always tough from behind when you're trying to get your shoulder in front of the player and get that foot stuck in. It's tough not to draw a foul there.
Fans, better educated coaches produce better athletes. You can help give high school coaches the training they need by contributing to the IHSAA Foundation. Make your tax-free contribution today at ihsaafoundation.org.
Now this looks like it's got to be a floated ball to the back post, or landing it near the center, the 6-yard line there.
Ball sent in. Hainline got to it first.
Handled it well.
Rodriguez will settle. Hainline again, a disruptor, and knocks that ball back to midfield. And that'll be a foul. Soria, the guilty party that time from Buff Jesuit. Long distance for this to travel. Ball sent in to the edge of the 18, and not surprisingly, Warren rises above the rest to clear it away.
Pretty routine for Warren. Well done by Marian, switching the point of attack, creating some space for itself.
Aguilar, great turn.
That guy, he has just got magic feet.
I think he's got a future in this sport. Again, he's just a freshman.
So smooth.
Bose goes flying. Nothing whistled in it, simply a throw it. Pankevich will restart.
Get it down.
Back on his feet. Aguilar. Now Moody. Moody tried to find a teammate, and eventually ball gets to him. This is Gillis looking to make the turn. Gillis goes tumbling. Wade able to smother it.
Did a good job there coming off of his line to get that cutback ball. I mean, Moody wasn't really able to turn the corner and get the ball cut back with much pace on it, but nice presence of mind by Wade.
Ball played left side. J.J. Oliver got there and eventually hits a real estate ball to the other end of the field. And that will work out very well because Brebeuf in Weeder got ahead to it and steered it sideways, and a throw-in coming here for Mishawaka Marian. First goal of the match belonged to Jackson Hunt, his 29th of the season. Next goal belonged to Hainline, his 15th for the Braves. Now it is 2v3. Warren, the lone runner, at least going forward, and that ball was about 2 yards off what it needed to be. But ball finds Hainline. Hainline with the left foot, and almost snuck it past. Balliot just steered it wide of the near post.
Entering the match for the Braves, number 30, Jackson Cooper.
Cooper comes back in.
He replaces number 10, Stefan Bose.
So Bose will have a seat. And all the way back now. Good build from the back here by the Braves. Again, Hainline. Just breaking off his run that time was Warren. He was still onside. He couldn't have known that. He was right in front of our broadcast position, but he had just stopped to keep himself in an onside position and couldn't go track it down. Ball knocked forward. Advantage is being played. And now we'll go back to the spot of the infraction. Possession short-lived enough after the advantage signal was given. And again, now you've got Warren as your target player here for Brebeuf. It is Finn Christ and Josh Pang. It'll be all Christ on this one.
It's got to be a bent ball landing somewhere between the 6-yard line and the penalty spot for Warren to get ahead on.
Ball sent in. Again, Warren headed it down. Didn't get much on it. Fuel hustling. Was able to get to it before it got to the byline. Throw in coming.
They've done a nice job all game, Marian has, of getting a body on Warren to make it difficult. That may have been the best ball played to a spot for him to get to all game.
Now Warren looking to make the turn. Kuczynski will elect to let that one bounce to restart with the throw. Brebeuf really playing everything through Warren at this point. Ball finds Hainline.
Have a dig.
Gives it a hit, and Balliot will simply watch that one lift up and over the bar.
On for the Marian Knights, number 17, Benjamin Walchek.
Walchek going to come in. Rodriguez will exit. Rodriguez was fantastic.
He will replace.
And if it was not for a
Vincent
tremendous
Rodriguez.
effort by Wade, would have made this a 2-goal advantage right before Brebeuf scored the equalizer.
Yeah.
10 minutes left to go in regulation.
Get it down. Got to get these second balls, get them down, get them with purpose.
Hunt taken away by Kerberger. But then Fuel steps up and takes it right back. Great play by Hainline. Ball off of Pankevich.
He's really owned that left side for them. Hainline, I mean, he's come up big so many times, winning balls and then initiating attack, getting at the end of it.
Cooper slides to the midfield to Potts. Warren.
I think we're seeing a little bit better possession on the part of Brebeuf now, doing a nicer job of using the width, forcing Marian to change its defending point.
Partner, I think we're also seeing some tired legs going in both directions. Again, weather conditions are perfect. That's not an issue. It's the frenetic nature of this match because these teams have been up and down the entire way. Hainline.
Have a dig here.
Cooper!
Great save.
Could not slide it past.
That's just a reaction save. Great job.
Shot on goal by number
That
30,
would have
Jackson
been Cooper's
Save
first
made by
goal
Noah
of the
Balliot.
year. He had gotten it past the junior netminder for Mishawaka Marian.
Yeah, great shot here. I mean, he did a nice job of collecting it and getting some pace behind it. Balliot really had to react and get down well to his right.
Fuel. Such a big factor in the second half for Marian. Lays it across. Ball just simply knocked sideways, and it will be a corner given to Mishawaka Marian.
Corner kick.
Fuel's big
Mishawaka
body is to
Marian.
his advantage up there. I mean, he's able to use that, his power to break through that back line, either in a one-on-one situation or with a ball played through. They really need him in there to continue that. I mean, he's able to wear down those backs. We'll see with his big body, too. He's able to get up to some of these balls if it comes into play here with his corner kick.
He has positioned himself between the 18 and the 6. At the edge of the 6, goes all the way through. Hunt, hoping to find a teammate, did not. Back to midfield where Brebeuf had no one back. Bryant knocks it forward, and right idea, just a little too much on it. As Gillis had space, but didn't do anything with it.
Yeah, I mean, a ball played into that type of traffic, it needs to be 2 feet. It can't really be into space. It's too much like threading the needle there. Here we go.
Speaking of threading the needle, here's Hunt. Hunt cuts it back.
Oh!
Could not put the bend on it he wanted to. What an effort by Kerberger to get back and get into the way.
Nice ball into space for Hunt to run onto. Cuts it back, but you're right, could not get enough spin on that ball to find the right pose.
Returning for the Braves,
Rosenberg
number 8,
and Bose will come
Jake
back
Rosenberg. And number 10, Stefan
Kaczynski
Bose.
will exit. Cooper as well. Is there a goal in these final 6 minutes? That'll be a foul against the Braves. It's going to be a card against the Braves, too. So first yellow of the match will go against Brebeuf Jesuit. So a substitution will be required here. So Kaczynski will come back.
Yellow card issued to Brebeuf Jesuits number 8, Jake Rosenberg.
Rosenberg has to come right back out. Tonight's match presented in part by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. You're good at being you. You've been you for years. Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance is good at your insurance. Find an agent to help you think about it at infb.com. Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance and stop knocking on wood. Takeaway here. Opportunity here.
2v1, 2v1. There we go. Give it back.
It's really 4v4 at this point. Now here comes the fifth for Brebeuf. Getting there in time was Christ. Can he beat the defender either side?
Oh, that should have been a give and go.
Bose down in the box. Not enough in it.
Kaczynski gave that ball. He should have gotten into the box to get it back.
Ball finds Bose. Bose. Great ball. Better recovery by Gillis, who's playing a bit more of a defensive role now. And Brebeuf could not keep that ball in. Aguilar, the exquisite turn, and what a ball, but just a little too far in front.
Made it look so easy turning it, delivering that ball for Hunt to run onto. Yeah, a little bit heavy. The idea, though, was spot on. Give it.
Tackled away.
Good tackle.
Soria. These counters, again, just a little bit slower at this point. Hainline couldn't get there. Good read by the defender. Well done by Pankevich. Because if Hainline makes the turn there, that's a problem. Hunt.
Has he got help here?
Right idea.
Right.
Good read. And now charging forward comes Brebeuf. Just into the wrong side of Warren, but the midfielder gets it back. Now Bose. Bose trying to beat his defender, couldn't do it. Hainline slides it through. Again, couldn't get it past the back line.
Hainline feeling the fatigue. That was a situation where he should have been cheating a little bit, getting forward in front of the player with the ball a little bit.
Hainline.
Come on, got to get there, got to get there.
And Cambridge does that, plays it off a Hainline. Throw in coming.
He's gassed.
There's a lot of hands on knees on both sides right now.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we're seeing. I mean, these guys aren't getting into spots that they were doing a nice job of getting to in the first half and a good part of the second half.
Seemingly the wall was hit for most of these players about the 10 or 15 minute mark left to go in the match.
Yeah.
Fuel seemingly has had energy for days. He and Hunt have continued.
They must have changed his batteries at halftime or something. I don't know.
We have a player down, and I believe that's Hainline that is the player down, so the clock is stopped with just past 2 minutes left to go.
They've been so good on this side. They need to be able to either continue to use Hainline. He's got to find that second gear somehow, or put somebody in that spot, because that is on. That right flank is on, playing balls into space, freeing them up.
I think that is Weeder that is the player that was slow to get up for Brebeuf Jesuit. And a lot of players are happy that they had a little bit of a timeout to replenish the oxygen tank.
Substitutions
Cooper
for the
will
Braves,
come back
number
in.
8, Jake Rosenberg.
Cooper's
And
been
number
good for
30,
them.
Jackson
See if he
Cooper.
can have same kind of effectiveness that Hamline, when Hamline had his fresh legs, was able to apply.
Aguilar sends it in.
Ooh.
Head to it, but not on target from Reed Gillis. Victor Aguilar. Pang knocks it away. Marco Aguilar will track it down.
Good job.
Contact there. We play through Moody. Couldn't keep it at his feet.
Counter. We got numbers. Can we get numbers?
Diagonal ball forward.
Oh.
Just couldn't get the right touch. Pankevich again. But then he lost it. And eventually knocked to the side by J.J. Oliver.
And Cooper bringing that energy that they need on the right side right now. With just about a minute left, see if they can formulate something here. This is the last opportunity before we see overtime.
Cooper couldn't keep it at his feet for a shot on target. And the clock is on your screen.
Now go, get into it.
Here's some space. Again,
Cooper, find Cooper.
Ball shot, but off the target, and we are going to have extra
10,
time in
9,
this one.
8.
And the defenders
7,
looked at the keeper and said,
6,
don't
5,
touch it.
4,
Everybody
3,
needs a
2,
breather at this point.
1.
We will take one as well. We're
And
not
our
going to
score at
catch
the end
yet,
of
but we are going to extra
Mishawaka
time.
Marian won.
After 80
Brebeuf
minutes,
Jesuit
it is
won.
Brebeuf Jesuit 1 and
We'll have a
Mishawaka Marian
2-minute
1.
intermission,
We're back
followed
for
by
2
2
overtimes when we come back on the
7-minute
IHSAA
overtime
Champions
match.
Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance.
Fans. And then there are fans. The diehards. They're those that don't just have a seat at a game, but a home away from home. The ones who made home field advantage a real thing. Who believe the horseshoe isn't just a logo, but a way of life.
You're good at making big announcements. We're good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
My life has changed tenfold. I mean, from what I was doing prior to sheet metal, I can't even express how great it's become.
Future's bright in this industry because it's not going away.
With the union trades, I am earning an associate's degree without any college debt whatsoever.
Right now is one of the greatest times to start this process. With our benefits packages and our retirement packages, we're very tough to beat.
So we got free soccer. Again, we will have 2 7-minute overtimes. No golden goal. If we are equal after these next 14 minutes, then we will go to kicks. Mark Newman, Greg Rakestraw with you here on the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. And there's tactic talk going on right now. But the best thing that can happen for these players from Brebeuf and for Mishawaka Marian is simply to get some oxygen, get some water, and in the case of the Brebeuf players, get off of their feet. Because, again, you could see in the last 10 minutes that both teams just kind of hit a wall in terms of getting to that top gear to go chase down a ball.
Yeah, I think the fitness issue is affecting Brebeuf a little bit more right now. We saw it a little bit more than them. I mean, Fuel has been the energizer bunny here this half, and Hunt continues to be able to get into the attack and be a dangerous player. You combine that with Aguilar, I mean, that threesome has really done some pretty impressive stuff, creating goal-scoring opportunities, creating a little bit of panic for the back line and goalkeeping of Brebeuf.
Teams, of course, will change ends, and again, because of the absolutely pristine weather conditions today, frankly, the end you are playing into does not matter. There's barely any wind, and temperatures headed for the 60s this afternoon. A little bit warmer on the field because of the sun getting soaked up on that turf. First touch belongs to Mishawaka Marian.
For Brebeuf, they've done a great job really taking advantage of flank play. We talked about Hamline so much when he was in there. He was able to get at Marian effectively. Cooper brought that new energy. Need to continue to use him. Rosenberg on the other side. These through balls are going to be the thing that works for them if they can continue to find the opportunities to play those into the attacking third.
Hunt, the goal scorer for Mishawaka Marian. Hainline, the goal scored for Brebeuf Jesuit. Was playing up top. Of note, Warren has now retreated back to a defensive role. He had been playing up top for a good chunk of the second half for Marian.
And there we saw that ball to Rosenberg, a little bit behind him, but the right idea there. They're looking to spring him, get him into space on the outside so he can either get a good shot off on goal or drive a ball across the box.
Bowes the touch and will distribute to Soria. Soria plays it to the right side. Soria makes the run forward. Cooper couldn't chip the defender. Pankevich will knock it back towards midfield. Pang made an effort to get it and stumbled, and now here's an opportunity for Mishawaka Marian.
Right guy with the ball on his feet there, Aguilar to Fuel, and then they try to find Hunt. I mean, we were just talking about that threesome.
And we'll stop with the ball in the midfield with Pang down behind the play. That'll stop the clock. 1 minute, 6 seconds into this first overtime session. I don't think Pang has come out the entire match.
No, he's been great back there. He's played on the left side. He's played on the right side.
Pang on the season, no goals, 5 assists for the senior. Weeder, Rosenberg, Bowes, Pang, Wade, the seniors of this group.
Substitution.
The remainders all juniors for this Brebeuf program.
Vasquez Jaffe.
Vasquez Jaffe will return. He's played briefly in both halves. Again, neither team has gone overly deep into their bench today. Hopefully we'll see Pang back, but given the hitch and the giddy-up he is showing, I'm not sure that'll be the case.
Well, in this overtime, I mean, I would have pegged him Rosenberg we talked about a little bit, Cooper a little bit on the left and the right side respectively, but those three have been instrumental in making Brebeuf dangerous, particularly in this second half. They need that energy.
Gillis poked away by Vasquez Jaffe.
Body, use your body.
Fuel trying to make the turn, does so. Give it a hit.
Whoa!
Diving effort just wide. That was Eli Moody.
Fuel showing a different feature here, just being able to turn that corner, sort of like just turning the barn door there to get that ball across. Usually he's had to bear down, put his heels in the ground, use his body to protect it, and then turn, shielding the ball from the defender. Here he was able to just turn the barn door.
On the attack comes Marian again.
Good. Talk to him. Talk to him.
Hunt trying to work through a defender, couldn't do it. Contact there. Player down for Brebeuf. We play on as of now. And now we'll stop. So second stoppage of this first overtime due to an injured player. Player getting back to a seated position off camera for Brebeuf. That is Kerberger, the player that requires some assistance, as he and Jackson Hunt tried to occupy the same space. And again, you see the posture of the players on your screen currently. I'm not sure how good that 2-minute break before overtime did for these guys in terms of replenishing the energy. I think if there was a poll taken, you want to go to kicks now? I think you'd get some yeses.
Yeah.
Returning to the field for the Braves, number 4, Jack Weeder.
So Weeder returns, who is the previous player injured for Brebeuf. Brebeuf did have clear possession, by the way, on this restart. And Victor Aguilar, and we have complimented his game in terms of talent beyond his years as a freshman. It's kind of an old man move. He's also the last guy to get up off his backside while he was sitting down waiting for that break. Conserve all the energy you could. Soria couldn't get to it. Oliver knocks it out of bounds. Throw incoming here for Brebeuf. Ball takes a deflection off a Marian defender. In the midfield, Brebeuf thought they had it and then gives the foul. And Fuel has been one of the few players that has not shown the sign of fatigue that seemingly everybody else on the pitch is dealing with right now. He was the target here and tracks it down. Take this one to the corner flag, trying to make the turn. Couldn't do it.
He was going to run out of real estate one way or the other. I mean, he was doubled heading toward the end line, and it was a situation where he could have used some help actually from Aguilar, who sort of stopped at the Wilson sign there on the other side and was just jogging forward. But we need to get him into a position to create a release valve.
Wade shaving some seconds here too. Warren able to lift that around Aguilar. I'm not sure I've seen kind of this dramatic of a fall off from two teams in a match before.
Yeah.
Especially at the end of October.
Yeah. It's not a possession game quite the way it was.
No.
It's turning into one-on-one, and that actually is going to take more energy out of you than if you were to try and continue playing possession and finding players' feet or balls into space, whatever, just so the ball does the running instead of the player.
But here is a chance for something special to happen again. You did a great job of documenting what Warren can do from a throw-in. So again, he's currently off your camera. You'll see the ball rocket in here momentarily. Ball lifted at the edge of the 18. Ooh. A potential turn. Have a hit!
That's a great goal!
In the back of the net. Brebeuf has found an answer. Again, it's not golden goal. We're still playing. There's time left, but it's 2-1 Braves.
Again, initiated by a great throw. Initiated by a great throw from Warren. The ball gets lifted up in the box, laid off for a great goal to the right side of Balliot.
Give Soria the goal, his 5th of the season. Give Potts the assist, his 4th of the season. And Brebeuf looking to make it back-to-back 2A titles. Now lead at 2-1. All right, let's talk tactics. If you're Brebeuf, do you change anything, or is it time to get in the bunker if you're Carlos Zavaletta's team?
I mean, I've never been a coach that favored bunkering after a goal was scored, particularly in a critical situation like that. It's just going to tighten you up more. You've got to continue to come at the opposition. You got to be smart, but don't tighten up here.
And Wade will take the candy hop. And again, he's going to make Hunt come to him. And I saw this in the last restart. I was like, okay, let me take about 10 or 15 seconds off of this here, and I think he'll do more of the same.
Yeah, Wade's had a great game. He's played with a lot of confidence. He's shown that he could manage and control the back there. Let him do his job. Let your backs do their jobs.
Hunt.
No cross here.
Able to keep it in play. Just
good job.
Never had it, even though he beat his defender, never had an angle to find a teammate on that run.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of a surprise to see him get that ball off, but good job by the goalkeeper here.
And Wade looks at the referee and says, hey, stop the clock. I've got an issue here. That was not a time-wasting maneuver. That was I need assistance.
Yeah. Now that wasn't really a variable that I was thinking about as we were just talking about things there. Now I'm wondering if they're getting a goalkeeper to warm up on the other side, if he's going to continue to go. He seems okay.
Well, my question is, though, if the trainer comes out for him, he would have to come out at least momentarily, right?
Yeah, I mean, this is to me, this is a moment. Don't ever want to put a player's welfare in jeopardy, but this is a moment where, as a trainer, you've got to know when is it right to come out, and maybe it's got to give the guy a little bit of time.
So the backup goalkeepers are Thomas Gonzalez, and then Warren also, because of his height, is listed as a goalkeeper.
Thomas Gonzalez.
So Gonzalez will come on. Gonzalez has played in 12 matches this year, but limited minutes, 200 total minutes. So what a time to enter the state finals. You've been sitting cold for 2 hours.
Well, he just launched a great ball into close to the other box. So if that's an indication of what we're going to see.
Pankevich. Oliver. Aguilar fighting for the ball.
Get it down.
Warren takes a tumble.
I will say this is a moment for Marian where they do want to test what this goalkeeper is able to do.
Your job for Brebeuf is not to allow that to happen.
Right.
Maintain the ball.
And so from Marian's standpoint, it's going to be changing the point of attack. Big balls diagonally, but if you're going to go vertically, it's got to be balls on the ground. You've got to be able to weave through this defense.
You hear the countdown.
3, 2,
the leave.
1.
Nothing in it. So, again, folks, we do play a second overtime session, even though the fact that Brebeuf has a 1-goal advantage. So we'll put 7 minutes back on the clock. The teams will simply switch ends, a very minimal pause, and Mishawaka Marian's got 7 minutes to find a goal. Gonzalez stays in there for now. Looks like Wade is about to head back to the fourth official. And he can't go back in immediately. He's got to clear that, but now he will get the nod from the fourth official. So Gonzalez did his job.
Did a good job there. A little bit that he had to do, he did it the right way.
Mishawaka Marian finds one. We're going to kicks. If not, Brebeuf Jesuit will have won back-to-back state championships for head coach Carlos Zabaleta. It's a Brebeuf team that has allowed all of 2 goals in the postseason. One last week against Memorial, and the early second half goal to Jackson Hunt.
Get it out. Nice. Here we go.
Through ball here. Weeder gives it a hit. Balliot got a hand to it.
That was a great ball. Played right into the pace of Weeder. I mean, he didn't have to change his run at all. Nicely done.
Weeder has all of 1 goal this year. Came a fingertip or 2 away from having a second. Now you go to the corner flag, and again, the time continues to roll here. And that was not far away from being an Olympico. That one had some serious hook to it.
Yeah.
Great read. Great read by Rosenberg. Cooper. Possession is 9/10 of the law at this point for Brebeuf.
Knock it down.
Ball lifted to the other side. Headed up as well. Ball back to Potts.
Potts just steady all game long. Has done a nice job of being in the right spots.
Number 2, Teddy Potts, saved by Balliot.
Opportunity here. Good cut back. Give it a go. Didn't get through. Warren got in the way.
We've seen a few of those instances of 1v1 where guys have been able to keep the ball at their feet, knocking it from one side, left side to right, and getting a good shot off.
That was a great build-up by Moody. 2 minutes in to this final 7-minute session.
Nice job, head up here. Really good job there of scanning the field before giving the ball.
Lifted here. Hunt gets around his defender. Couldn't get the shot off. It will be a corner.
Okay, well, let's see what happens here. This is one of those moments where Marian is just sort of licking its chops saying, okay, this is what we wanted.
Just one defender left back for Marian. Got to take the chance now to bring as many guys forward as possible. You'll see a lot of traffic in front of Wade.
That's a good ball.
Ball sent in, goes all the way through. Don't think it was ever touched. Nope, nobody got a finger on it. Goal kick coming for Brebeuf. 3 minutes in, 4 to go in this 2A state championship game. The Memorial boys went back-to-back in 2019 and 2020. Brebeuf looking to equal that. Aguilar.
That's a nice little ball he played there.
Trying to find Gillis. Potts does just enough. And Potts wins that 50-50 ball and digs in and
tough kid.
Knocks
He's
it
done
backwards.
A nice job.
And he's a junior. He's back next year. And it's going to be a throw-in coming. And there you see some of the, well, Wrigleyville-style fans watching from atop the parking garage across the street. That is normally the domain for overflow crowd for Indy 11 matches here at the home of IUPUI. Fuel had space, plays it to Aguilar.
Exact guy you want the ball to.
He had the earlier assist to Hunt. Moody, again at the edge of the 18, again can't get it through. That time it was Kerberger that got in the way.
Brebeuf really dropping back here, putting themselves under a lot of pressure. Brebeuf in no hurry to get the ball into the attacking third of the field.
Just knock that ball to the other corner flag. Again, the tank is on E for both of these teams. It's just a matter of can you find a moment. And Brebeuf is quite content just to direct this ball in the area of downtown Indianapolis at this point.
Got to get it down. Ball needs to be on the ground for Marian to have any effect here.
Fuel again breaks free.
Can he turn the corner? No.
And it will be a corner. And if you're Marian, get everybody up.
That's right.
Bring everybody at this point.
Knights.
Quick ball. He's going to swing this ball out. Got to get somebody at the end of it.
Ball sent in. Couldn't get ahead to it. It will be another corner. Yep.
Corner Marian.
I'm not so sure you don't even bring the keeper up at this juncture if you're Marian. They've got all of their field players are up into the mix. Valiant is
1 minute.
Walking towards midfield right now. Low liner set in. Potts just sticks a leg out, knocks it back. Warren again.
You just got to get it down, get it into the mixer, see whatever can develop from it develops, but you got to get it toward the goal.
And time is on your screen. Just throw this ball forward and hope for the best for the Braves. Ball knocked sideways. It will be Marian ball. You will start to hear the countdown coming up in a few seconds. Got to be hit and hope at this point.
Big one. Just get it up the field.
Which is why he's doing where he is. Hail Mary time from midfield.
10, 9.
Got to hit it.
7.
Not there.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Last shot.
1.
No, sir. The Brebeuf Jesuit Braves for the second year in a row. This time overtime was required. The Braves are your 2A boys soccer state champions.
Brebeuf Jesuit 2, Mishawaka Marian 1.
Partner, this game set the bar pretty high for the three that are set to follow it.
Yeah, I mean, just a tremendous end-to-end game. You've got some really talented soccer players on this field. Young guys, old guys, seniors, freshmen. Really just an impressive display of where Indiana high school soccer is today.
Well, congratulations to Brebeuf. It is their second state championship in boys soccer in as many years. Brebeuf appeared in 5 different state finals last year. In fact, when their boys soccer team won this state tournament a year ago, they were a part of a stretch of 3 teams in 8 days that competed for a state championship. Their football team would compete for a state championship at Lucas Oil Stadium. And their baseball team would do the same. In fact, a young man that didn't play today but was on the bench, Owen Morikawa, in the baseball state finals for Brebeuf in June. Soccer state championship match here just a few months later in October. For Brebeuf High School, this is their 21st state championship. And they have accomplished that feat by winning championships in 10 different sports. If you combine the work that Angela Berry White has done with their girls' soccer program, it is now a 3rd soccer state championship. The girls' state champs in 2015. Boys now state champs in both 2021 and 2022. Some exhausted hugs and handshakes are now taking place on the field. And you see the commissioner of the IHSA, and Paul Neidig. Janie Allmer down there as well, the good folks from Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. And Jeff Doyle, star basketball player at Lagodi High School, now at Bar Reeve High School, a member of the IHSA Executive Committee, will prepare to lead the way for our Cato Mental Attitude Award ceremony. We'll have that coming up for you in just a matter of moments. Then we will also bring you the entirety of the runner-up medals and trophy presentation, as well as the championship medals and trophy presentation. Of course, our Mental Attitude Award presented by the good folks at Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Good. Our next game was slated for a 1:30 start. Obviously, that will be delayed just a little bit because of the length of time that it took for this game to be completed. So congratulations to each of these two teams for a fantastic effort that required 14 extra minutes of soccer. And with that, let's go pitch side for our Mental Attitude Award ceremony.
Fans, at this time, please welcome Jeff Doyle from Bar Reeve High School at midfield for the presentation of the Mental Attitude Award on behalf of the IHSAA Executive Committee.
On behalf of the Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, presenting sponsor of the C. Eugene Cato Mental Attitude Award for boys soccer in Class 2A, the IHSAA Executive Committee will award a $1,000 scholarship to the winner's school. Please join us in thanking Indiana Farm Bureau for their generous support of student athletes and high school athletics in our states. After we announce the name of the recipient, we invite his parents to join him on the field. The recipient of this award was selected by the IHSAA Executive Committee. This student was nominated by his principal and coach, excelled in mental attitude, athletic ability, scholarship, and leadership. The winner of the 2022 C. Eugene Cato Mental Attitude Award for Class 2A Boys Soccer is Stefan Bose of Brebeuf Jesuit High School.
Let's tell you about Stefan, four-time varsity letterman in soccer, team captain each of the last 2 years. Member of the National Honor Society, student athlete leadership team, part of both the Muslim and the Jewish Student Union. He also helped organize the Eunice K. Schreiber Special Olympics his junior and senior year. You see mom and dad, Eric and Tatiana. Stefan is planning to play college soccer, not sure where, and hopes to major in environmental science. This award is presented to a senior nominated by his principal and coach who has excellence in mental attitude, scholarship, leadership, and athletic ability, and named for C. Eugene Cato, who was the 5th commissioner of the IHSAA from 1983 through 1995. And in 1994, boys and girls soccer became an official sport in the IHSAA. Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, proud to be a corporate partner of the IHSAA, presents a $1,000 scholarship to the General Scholarship Fund of Brebeuf Jesuit Preparatory School in the name of Stefan Bose. With that, let's now bring you the presentation of the runner-up medals and trophy to the Knights of Mishawaka, Marian.
Fans, at this time, would you please turn your attention to midfield, where Jeff Doyle of Bar Reeve High School and Joe Herman of Evansville Modern Day will present Class 2A Boys IHSAA State Runner-Up Team Medals to our State Runner-Up Marian Knights, Noah Balliet, Jackson Hunt, John Oliver, Reed Gillis, Sean Coman, Harley Pankowitz, Blaze Potts, Victor Aguiar, Grant McCourt, Ethan Bryan, Benjamin Walchek, Angel Alarcon, Maximus Morales, Austin Mason, Emmanuel Reynolds, Zachary Fuel, Aniel Jimenez, Christian Martinez, Jose Hernandez, Marco Aguiar, Michael Buppel, Eli Moody, Anthony Cataldo, Matt Engelert, Junior Ontiveros, Chuina Ontiveros, Ben Hausholter, Ann Masinski, Steve Ravoto, Kyle Hanaseski, Steve Dondolinger, Mark Kerzeder, now for the presentation of the runner-up team trophy and game ball by Jeff Doyle of Bar Reeve High School to the 2A boys state runner-up, Mishawaka Marian Knights. Now, Joe Herman of Evansville Mater Dei and Jeff Doyle, Bar Reeve, will present championship medals to our state champion, Brebeuf Braves. Aiden Wade, Teddy Potts, Jack Weeder, Gabriel Vasquez Jaffe, Julian Bell, Jake Rosenberg, Ian Hewell, Stefan Bose, Josh Peng, Alex Kerberger, Ben Hainline, Ian Kuczynski, Finn Christ, Tamene Harrow, Braden Holdsworth, Cole Peterson, Andrew Rains, Owen Morikawa, Drew Poplarski, Mateo Soria, Jackson Cooper, Thomas Gonzalez, Quinn Warren, Hayden Bosch, John Tripp, Sam Young, Carlos Zavaleta, Patrick Miller, David Jessup, Ted Hampton, Greg Van Slambrook, Father Bill Verbrike, Now for the presentation of the championship trophy in game ball to the 2022 2A Class Boys IHSAA State Championship team, the Brebeuf Braves.
Congratulations to a most deserving champion in the Brebeuf Jesuit Braves. Fantastic effort by Mishawaka. Marian, Mark, your final thoughts on this one.
Well, we were hoping for a game that was going to be open-ended, that was going to be end-to-end. These players continuing to attack and bring it every moment of the game. I think we saw that today. Certainly fatigue played a factor at the end, but both teams delivered. We saw 3 great goals. Hunt from Marian scoring one, Hamline, Soria for Brebeuf scoring the others. Bright future for both of these programs. Bright future with several of these players coming back next year.
With that, we will step aside because we have 3 more games to bring you on the IHSAA Champions Network. Next up, it is our 3A championship, which we expect to be as good as this one. Noblesville and Columbus North, and much like Brebeuf, the Millers looking to make it back-to-back titles. Join us again half hour, 45 minutes from now, somewhere in that vicinity is when we will have our next state championship match. But for now, goodbye from downtown Indianapolis. Brebeuf, your 2A winner. Thanks for joining us on the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance.
Fans and family members,